Do you know the world is facing the biggest trap in human history? Right now, billions of people around the globe are entering retirement age with the belief that they will have money to live on. But the truth that governments and financial corporations don't want you to know is that global pension funds are facing a $30 trillion shortfall. This number is so massive, it's nearly double the GDP of the United States. Imagine you're playing a game where the rules get changed halfway through. You've spent 30 years of your life contributing to pension funds, believing you'll have a comfortable old age. But when it's time to collect, they tell you, sorry, there's no money left. This is exactly the reality that Generation X, those born from 1962 to 1980, are facing. And worse yet, Gen Y and Gen Z will suffer even more. This story isn't happening in just a few countries. From Japan, Europe, America, to even developing nations, the retirement crisis is spreading like a silent pandemic. Today, I will expose the most insidious trap that the system has set. After reading this article, you will understand why the current retirement system is nothing but a legalized Ponzi scheme and why you need to act right now. Listen, I'm going to tell you straight about the real nature of the retirement system. It's not a savings program like they've propagated. It's a massive Ponzi scheme operated by governments. How does a Ponzi scheme work? Simple. Take money from later participants to pay earlier ones. As long as there are new people joining, the game continues. But when there's no more fresh blood, the entire system collapses. That's exactly how the retirement system operates. During the golden period from 1990 to 2000, the population was young, birth rates were high. Each retiree had 4 to 5 workers supporting them, and the system ran smoothly. From 2000 to 2020, cracks began to appear as birth rates declined, populations aged, the ratio dropped to 3 to 4 workers supporting one retiree. And government started patching things up by raising retirement ages. And from 2020 to now is the current crisis phase, with only 2 to 3 workers supporting one retiree, pension funds beginning to dry up, and developed nations having no choice but to print money. Do you see the problem? When Charles Ponzi created this scam in 1920, he was thrown in prison. But when governments do the same thing on a scale thousands of times larger, they call it social policy. Why doesn't anyone dare speak the truth? Because this truth is too terrifying. If people realize the retirement system is just a massive fraud, they would stop contributing. And then the entire system would collapse within months. So governments continue to maintain this illusion by raising retirement ages from 60 to 65, then 70, reducing pension benefits from 70% of salary down to 60, 50%, and printing more money to pay debts, causing inflation that reduces the real value of pension payments. Let's look at the shocking numbers about the demographic crisis. Japan, the world's oldest nation, has seen birth rates drop from 1.57 in 1990 to 1.26 in 2023, with population projections falling from 120 million to 100 million by 2050. Europe isn't any better, with Germany having a birth rate of 1.4 while needing 2.1 to maintain population, Italy at 1.25, Spain at 1.19. South Korea has even set a world record for low birth rates at 0.78 in 2023, meaning every 2 people only produce 0.78 children. Even China, the world's most populous country, is rapidly aging. From the one-child policy to 3 children, but it's too late. Why is this important? Because the retirement system is based on a simple formula. Pension money equals the number of workers times contributions divided by the number of retirees. When the number of workers decreases and retirees increases, the entire system will collapse. That's basic mathematics, undeniable. Is America an exception? Unfortunately not. The U.S. is also entering a phase of population aging, with birth rates declining from 3.7 in 1980 to 1.8 in 2020. Social Security is projected to be depleted by 2034. The ratio of workers to retirees has dropped from 16:1 in 1950 to 2.8:1 today. The baby boomer generation, those born from 1946 to 1964, has inadvertently created the biggest scam in history. They benefited from the system when there were few elderly people, but now as they retire en masse, They're leaving behind a massive debt bomb for future generations. Each year, from 2010 to 2030, approximately 3 million baby boomers in America retire. They will live another 20 to 30 years. Who will pay for them? And this is the most cunning move by the system. When they realized the Ponzi scheme was about to collapse, they quietly changed the rules without most people knowing. Previously, with the defined benefit model, companies committed to paying you a fixed amount upon retirement. For example, 70% of your final salary multiplied by years of service, with risk borne by companies and the state. Now, with the defined contribution model, you contribute to your personal account. Retirement money depends on investment results, and all risk is transferred to you. Sounds fair? Not at all. This is how they wash their hands of responsibility in a sophisticated way. Why is this a trap? First, you're not an investment expert. You're already busy with work. How can you have time to research financial markets? And pension funds typically have high management fees of 1 to 2% per year. Second, market risk is very high. If you retire right when the market crashes, like in 2008, you lose everything. No one guarantees you'll have enough money when old. Third, inflation erodes value. Money you save today will lose value over time. $1 million today might only be worth $500,000 after 30 years. Real example, John Smith, 30 years old, starts contributing to his 401k in America with 10% of his salary, equivalent to $5,000 per year. After 35 years with an average return of 7% annually, he has about $700,000. Sounds like a lot? But with 3% annual inflation, $700,000 then is only equivalent to $300,000 today. Is that enough to live 20 years in old age? Now let's talk about the future, and it's not pretty at all. Gen Y or millennials, those born from 1981 to 1996. This generation has faced a series of crises: the dot-com crash in 2000, the financial crisis in 2008, the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, high inflation from 2021 to 2023. They started their careers with low wages, high student debt, expensive housing. How can they save money for retirement? Gen Z born from 1997 to 2012 will have it even worse. They will have to support the aging baby boomers, deal with a collapsed retirement system, bear high tax pressure to patch up the system. The scenario of global Japanification is unfolding. Japan today is the future of the world, with elderly people working until 80, high poverty rates among the elderly suicide becoming a social problem. Frightening projections from the World Economic Forum show that by 2050, there will be a $30 trillion shortfall, and by 2080, the deficit could reach $100 trillion. What does this mean? It means most of today's young generation will not be able to retire. They will have to work until death. The solutions from governments are just raising retirement age to 70 to 75, encouraging immigration, but immigrants will also age, printing money to patch things up, causing inflation that impoverishes people, raising taxes that kills work incentives. All are just temporary painkillers, not solving the root cause. The truth they don't want you to know is that the retirement system was never designed to last. When Otto von Bismarck created the first retirement system in 1889, with retirement age at 70, average life expectancy was only 45. That means most people would die before receiving benefits. Massive pension funds are tools for market control. CalPERS in California manages $400 billion. Norway's government pension fund. Global manages $1 trillion. These funds can manipulate global stock markets. The retirement crisis creates opportunities for Wall Street, because when everyone has to manage their own retirement funds, who benefits? Asset management companies. They collect hundreds of billions of dollars annually in fees from 401k accounts. Listen, here's a scam of epic proportions. The government takes your retirement money to lend to themselves. When they can't pay back the debt, you lose all your retirement money. So how do you escape this trap? First, don't trust the system. Consider Social Security contributions as taxes, not investments. Don't expect to receive a dime when you retire. Second, create multiple passive income streams like rental real estate. dividends from quality stocks, online businesses, royalties from intellectual property. Third, invest in real assets like gold and silver to hedge against inflation, real estate that generates cash flow, stocks of companies with sustainable competitive advantages. Fourth, develop irreplaceable skills by continuous learning, building personal brand, networking. Fifth, consider migrating to places with low cost of living like Southeast Asia, parts of South America, Eastern Europe. The important thing is to start today. Time is the deciding factor in building wealth. The more you delay, the harder it becomes to escape this trap. Remember, those who understand this game will succeed. While the majority still believes in the retirement system, you know the truth and can prepare. This isn't the time to be afraid, but to act. History shows that major crises always create major opportunities for those who know how to capitalize. Now you understand the truth behind the biggest retirement trap in human history. The system you've trusted your whole life is just a massive Ponzi scheme that's gradually collapsing. Generation X is becoming the first guinea pigs of this experiment. Gen Y and Gen Z will have it worse if they don't act now. But this isn't the time to despair. This is the time to act. The truth is, those who understand the nature of this game will have a huge advantage. While the majority sleeps in illusion, you've awakened and can prepare. Remember, don't play by their rules. Create your own rules. Act today. Don't delay. Finally, share this article to help awaken more people. The more people understand the truth, the more opportunities we have to create better alternatives. For a future where we don't have to work until death, but can truly enjoy old age. That's the truth they don't want you to know. But now you know.